When I think about playoffs and Worlds, I really think it's a chance to finally prove ourselves.
What a game from Dignitas, and they take down Team Solomid at 48-50.
Playoffs is pretty much what we've been playing this entire season for. You really want to look strong leading up to this playoffs where you can get the Worlds.
Oh my God! Bjergsen coming out huge here.
I think if we're playing well on day of the playoffs, then we should smash TSM.
Oh my God, will they get Bjergsen? Yes, they will. 2 kills picked up on the turnaround.
I want to be the team Dignitas that goes strong and feeling confident and ready to win.
Dignitas to take the match. What a game from Dig.
We're all in already, like, we got nothing to hide.
Day 1 of the North American LCS Summer Playoffs, coming to you live from our studios here in Los Angeles. Over the next 2 weeks, we'll be bringing you 7 playoff series to crown our 2014 Summer Split champions and determine which 3 teams will be heading to Asia to represent North America at the World Championships. And it all begins right here. Hey everyone, I'm Rivington Bislin III, alongside your friend and mine as always, Joshua Jalleesman.
Man, it is so good to be back. I mean, the last week of the regular season brought a ton of shakeups, so I'm really looking forward to see what surprises us.
It felt weird not being in the chairs for a few weeks. Let's pull up the bracket to quickly review and preview how the teams are lined up right now. Today, 3rd seed TSM takes on 6th seed Dignitas. They'll face off in our first quarterfinal showdown. The winner of this best-of-5 battle will advance to the semifinals and face off against LMQ.
And then tomorrow, the 4th seed Curse will square off against Counter Logic Gaming, with the winner moving on to challenge Cloud9.
That they will. Of course, the 3 top North American teams will join the international squads who have already qualified for Worlds, starting with Alliance, Fnatic, and SK Gaming from the European League.
And then from the GPL, it's the Taipei Assassins and Samsung Blue from Korea. And taking one of the 2 international wildcard spots already is Turkey's Dark Passage.
That's right. Make sure to head over to lolesports.com to get the full schedule rundown, as well as vote for who you think will win their matches. As always, you can also bone up on your international league knowledge as we gear up for the 2014 World Championships.
And a quick program reminder, just to put more on your minds.
Yeah.
The LCS TV Roku channel has gone live, so now you can get all the VODs and esports action from the NA and EU LCS all the way through Worlds, beamed directly to your TV set, of course, if you have a Roku box.
That's right. It's crazy because then your parents go on Facebook and you're like, my kids are on TV, and you're like, not really on TV. But then everybody's like, what do you do on TV? You're like, well, I guess I broadcast video games.
There you go.
And then you have to describe that to them, but you guys know what it's all about. It's about huge camaraderie, fun, our playoffs right now and around the world. And this is going to be for the next 6 weeks after PAX, going across several countries and just, well, not several countries, but it's really across several places.
We broadcast in so many different languages when we make it to Worlds. But something, as far as making it to Worlds, this game right here, something that was a big surprise was Dignitas elected to go red side in both of their choices. So every single match in this best-of-5 will be TSM on blue and Dig on red. We will get to that later.
Already the crazy stuff. So to preview today's action, we're going to go ahead and send it over to the guys at the analyst desk.
Thanks, Riv. I'm here with Sam, Kobe, Hartman, Kensler. We'll be joined by some special guests in just a few moments, but first, we want to set the stage by taking a closer look at this storied rivalry, both then and now.
So this is the last time we played TSM, if I can remember correctly. That was when we played TSM in the finals of PAX.
Back in 2012, TSM was fairly dominant at the time in the NA scene.
We were a completely different team back then.
No team basically could stop us. We won basically every LAN.
Chaos was on my team, X-Special, me, Dyrus, and Odd One.
Back then the team was Skara, QtPie, Sam80 carry. I was playing top lane. And our jungler was I Will Dominate, and our support was Batoy.
It was like a ragtag bunch, just like we kind of just ran around and killed stuff and then hoped to God that we won games. And I mean, it worked out because we made it to finals.
At the time, the hype for the match was, Dig's gonna win because TSM had trouble with Curse. We only 2-1 them. So basically everyone was against us and we just wanted to prove them wrong.
Team Solomid pulling out game 1 in the grand final.
We went in with a plan, but we just weren't prepared to take an extended series.
Long story short, we just 2-0'd them.
After they lost, they were like making excuses about losing. Oh, we lost today because we weren't prepared. That's like the ultimate excuse. Like everyone says that in esports.
We didn't prepare. We weren't winning against anyone today. We played Curse today, we got 2-0.
I've never ever heard a team say like, okay, they're better than me. They just played better than us. So I was pretty annoyed. And so when I got interviewed, I wanted to make fun of them. And I did make fun of them.
We're really excited that we stomped Dignitas in the finals. It was the easiest finals of our lives.
That caused a bunch of controversy as well.
Like, we weren't planning to say that, but it just what happens.
Back then, the scene was just overall a lot less structured. We didn't have coaches, we didn't have analysts.
Now League is so team-based that it's really hard for one man to carry. You have to work as a team, and if one person's slacking off, then you'll probably lose.
I think me and Shifter joining Dignitas was a pretty big change, but I think the biggest thing was kind of like a different take on the game and a new perspective. Like, we're gonna be even more serious.
You get to see how important it is to be a team, how important it is to have teamwork and see the game as to know you're not just an individual. You're not gonna win in solo. You need to use your teammates and vice versa to be able to win.
Our draft phase has definitely matured. Our players also have matured as well. And just the way we think about winning and the way we think about playing the game is much different.
The biggest core that's changed is Reginald. When Reginald stepped out, Bjergsen became the new core.
When I came in, I wasn't anywhere near Reggie's level of shot calling. He was a big voice in the team. I kind of had to step up and be more of a leader in Champions Select before the game, shot caller in the games, trying to lead the team as much as I can.
We're basically in a position where we have to make our own name, and now is basically the time for us to do so.
I'm pretty excited to play against TSM, and I don't know how they've been doing, but I feel like we've improved vastly from last time we played.
I'm itching to play right now because I don't want to wait, and that match is pretty big. It's who goes to the semifinals.
Everyone on the team is confident that we can win and go to Worlds. I'm confident we can win and go to Worlds.
Right now, we've really come to terms with what we have to do, how the game should be played. We also have to prove that we're worthy of the TSM brand.
Right now, the most important thing is winning, and I'm gonna want to do whatever it takes to make it there. I don't want to be disappointed with what I could have done more, how I could have played better. I just want to go into it and be like, I did everything I can for this moment.
And we're happy to welcome a few familiar faces, Dig's coach Skara and TSM's coach Loco Doko. It's good to have you guys here. How does it feel to be back in the studio?
It feels pretty good.
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
Had a couple weeks off there. One thing I want to ask right off the bat, Skara, 5 games on red side. Can you give us any insight into why you guys went for that?
We felt like against TSM, purple side was slightly favorable to blue. But that's just our own opinion. We'll see how it plays out.
And watching the video lead in, of course, you guys are talking about preparation, how it's changed. Of course, prepping for a best of 5. How different is Dignitas's strategies been the last few weeks, and how has the practice been going?
I think for best of 5s, it's a little bit of a different monster because no one has experience in best of 5s in North America, almost no one. And it's very hard. We had to start scrimming in best of 5 slots as well. And it changed our outlook on how they do draft a little bit. You come in with a lot more flexible, and you really just try to think of what is best for you and them, and then try to slowly react as the best of 5 progresses.
And Loco, I kind of want to redirect this one to you. How do you think your guys will do dealing with the pressure of this playoffs? Because this is a new, basically, TSM team, a lot of new guys up there, and you only get to go up there as the coach in between games for a short amount of time. How are they going to handle the pressure?
Well, for the old players like Dyrus and Turtle, they've always handled pressure really well, and Lesboy also, he's someone with tons of experience. I think they'll do fine. And Amazing and Bjergsen, even though they're really new players compared to the other 3, they've always handled pressure really well, and they always stepped up when it counts. And TSM as a brand, we've always stepped up when it counts.
Well, when we look at the differences between playoffs and the regular season you're playing every week, so you kind of have that weekly, super competitive game time mode. I've had a couple weeks off. How do you get your team as a coach back into that competitive mindset? Like, hey, this is game time, it's not scrim time.
Oh, so we also did a best of 5 scrims where we would have the players dress up in uniform, and usually I would talk a bit during scrims, like, you guys are forgetting this, you need to be on track about this. I didn't talk to them at all during scrims, and during champ select, I let them have their way. So exactly like how a real best of 5 game would go. And we would have rewards and punishment depending on how that best of 5s went.
All right, what about in Diggs' side of the court?
We didn't make them dress up in their uniforms, but we had a similar system where there was also like a reward for doing well, and there would also be we tried to minimize certain interference while they were doing this, with the exception of like maybe being able to talk to them a little bit in between the games.
So you had rewards and punishments.
Oh, I didn't get to dish out any punishment because we won every single best of 5 we played.
Oh, that bodes pretty well. However, we have seen scrim success not necessarily translate into actual performance during the LCS.
All right. Well, that's about all the time we have there for questions. 'Cause we're gonna jump right over there. So we are gonna ask a Twitter question though, and what we want to ask on Twitter today is which NALCS player would you most like to see on the world stage and why? And guys, I'm gonna throw this to you first. Which player on your team are you most excited about having the opportunity to play on the world stage?
Can I choose 2?
All right, we'll give you 2.
Turtle last year performed really well. He consistently did very well versus SKT Bada and Piglet Mandu. I think he's someone that can do very, very good on a world stage, especially paired with someone like Lustboy. And Bjergsen, he's matured so much as a player, like from the day he started playing on solo mid, and even since I got here until today, he matured so much, and I would really like to see how he does on a world stage and make a name for himself.
I don't have any favorites. I like to see my whole team go to Worlds. So I seriously don't have a specific one I'd like to see.
All right, playing the diplomat.
All right. You two at home also answer us. You can just send your thoughts to @LO Esports and use the hashtag LCS. We'll be pulling a few of our favorite answers to be read later in the show.
All right, now we're going to take a quick break while TSM and Dignitas load in for our first quarterfinal matchup. Don't go anywhere. The action gets underway after this.